Welcome. Welcome back. I will be your cosmic guide today. We're going to do a little bit of channeling and a little bit of a reading on the energies and what to expect upcoming in the consciousness. So today I pulled a couple of cards. I was kind of meditating and praying before I started, and we're going to channel a council, angelic or celestial being council of the new earth energy. And this is kind of new for me, that I've never done that before. So they've been presenting themselves in the last days. I'm kind of getting over surgery. Like I had surgery in the last weeks. And so kind of healing. And they've been presenting themselves in the last days. So that's been kind of cool. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen. So it's a council of new angelic beings. Or ancestors, elders, new angelic beings for the new earth energy. They're not the old ones. They're the higher energies of some of our angelic celestial guidance upcoming for our new earth energies. So the first thing I want to start with is I pulled some cards, and in my sacred geometry activations deck, which is I really love I cannot go wrong with this. I pulled number 28, Gaia. And the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we're infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. Gaia. So they're talking about Gaia, or the new earth energies, the higher frequencies. And they're really going to make a point about how we are shifting into these higher frequencies, and what those, it's like I want to say consequences, but it really is more like results are going to be as we keep holding the light in every single aspect of who we are, in like personally as well as in also in bigger pictures, like world stage wise, universe wise, multiverse wise. So the concept of ascension and awakening is that our earth is transforming. We're having an evolution, a revolution, an awakening, so that our perspectives and our frequencies can rise higher, and we can build, create, come together in unity consciousness and the heavenly Christed consciousness, and we can live in our physical bodies in this ascension in higher frequencies than we have for the last era of thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And so to do that, we hold the light. Us light workers would say, hold the light frequencies for what we are wanting to create. And we're going to write the new scripts and new build the new structures, the new architectures, build the new systems in a way that is much more healthy, happy, whole, higher frequencies that no longer can carry and hold the old matrix, the old darkness, our old baggage. And that means we won't have, we'll go beyond war and betrayals and suffering. And as we walk into home, into this new energy, this new paradigm, and they're saying paradigms are falling apart so that they can be rebuilt. Archetypes are falling apart so that they can be rebuilt for the new earth. So the earth itself is already ascending or ascended, and going through these shifts and changes. And humanity is catching up and going, oh, and we're having a release of old belief systems quickly, or quicker than humanity has been able to in the past. And we are building where we want it to be, like in every aspect, a better way, highest good way that will be good for all of us. Not the misuse of power, not the corruption and injustices. And they're saying use the word respect. You can look at respect in many angles and many aspects, right? So in the Godfather movies, right, the Godfather wants respect. And he will whack you if you do not listen to them and do what they say. You not give them all your money and let them beat you down. So that concept is going to be power washed away, and that respect will turn into a balanced, harmonious respect and acknowledgement of each other and our differences. And so respect it becomes a more beautiful word. I was in Sedona, where I used to live, recently, and my friend and I were talking about liberation, and he was saying, I don't love that word liberation, because it was sort of tainted in the past with liberty. What does liberty mean? Is it good for some people, or all? Liberty for all is what we want to come into. And he says, it just feels heavy, like liberation is almost there, but still tainted. That's just a perspective. But the freedom, the liberty, the liberation that we want to come into will be more clean and clear. And for all of us, highest good for all of us. So that's what we're building and rebuilding within ourselves, so that we can hold that energy in the new earth, heaven and earth energies, frequencies. The next card I drew was delight, so we'll use that one. They're showing me delight. Think about it like 10 years ago. This is an awesome word. It evokes happiness, delight, joy. Delight is, joy, happiness, creativity all at once. Don't you think? Like delight? But think about it as we might have a new perspective of what that means in the next days and weeks to come. We might be able to feel it more fully and radiate, emanate, embrace these new concepts and the new beliefs, and get rid of the old dark pieces or shadows in every aspect of this world that we used to hold on to, and build new belief systems. So what if delight even got better? Delight says the frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. How long has it been since any of us felt intense joy and happiness? Well, that is going to be part of the results of all of this shadow work, all of this walking through this 2020. That is not that fun, for me at least, and many other people that I know, where we walk into some results at the end of 2020 for the rest of the year and realize, oh, it's clearer. So there is more delight as we go through the chaos and we go through the corruption and we move through that. We will see the delight. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. That frequency of Gaia said it's we're connected. We're infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to the Great Mother and to the universe that birthed us all. So remember, as we see that concept of what you've done to someone else, you do to yourselves. So we want to bring that, what we do to one another, being delightful, loving, respectful, harmonious, fair, safe, just, equal, whole, home. As we walk home, each one of us, we're going to see that all our old belief systems, really the results of our work that we've done, and coming into this new higher frequency. They're saying that we're going to build the restructure invisible architectural systems, educational systems, health systems, all kinds of systems, all kinds of aspects of humanity. And it'll almost be like rebuilding like if we had a huge catastrophe and we had to rebuild the world, would we learn to use bricks and wood and fire and water? Yeah. But it will be better this time. And they're saying there's archetypes and roles that we're going to almost like refurbish and restructure. So I'm getting a little bit, and I pulled these out because I was feeling this message coming in. So if you can think about like an archetype would be a role that we play. All of us, every single human being has many archetypes within us, and we um, act out of our archetypes pieces. You know, we have a work face and a home face and a role that we play with that friend and this friend and our children and our parents and our spouses. So I'm going to use the archetypes of, in the tarot deck, there's, in the major arcana, there's the Empress and the Emperor. So as we rebuild archetypes, how about this? This concept is, in some of the movies, right? We can see the Emperor he's sometimes portrayed, this archetype, as Emperor or King. He can be a tyrant, he can be greedy, he can be mean, and he can be abusive and beat down others, right? We were talking about the Godfather a second ago, right? And that's how he gains his respect and his power. That's a misuse of power, right? We all know this. And he gets the most. He gets all the coins. He gets all the money. He gets all the anything he wants, and it sometimes is in ugly, tyrannical ways. And as we walk into the new earth, our archetype, we're going to remove some of the baggage. We might have some of the old movies, but we're going to remove some of the baggage of the archetype of this emperor and many other archetypes, mind you. And you can look at him again. You can go, he's kind of peaceful, and he's very wise, and he's very compassionate. So then emperor can be the wise man that is fair and just, and his each decision is very with awareness for the highest good of all people. And he does care about the tall people, the short people, the rich people, the poor people, whatever differences that we have. A real leader cares about all of those pieces and has compassion and wisdom to help him make the choices that will give us the highest good for all in unity consciousness, which we are bringing in heaven, Christed consciousness into our new earth. That's how we're building it, with these new paradigms, new beliefs that are very clear and do not have any distortion attached to them. So if you can hold that archetype in yourself, or that word like delight or respect, hold that for a minute in the clear way, delight. You'll soon start realizing that these new earth energies this has all been worth it, because the new earth energies for our unity consciousness, for our higher consciousness, is just above and beyond anything we've ever felt before. Love. We all love somebody. We all love people. Our pets, our lives, our careers, our houses, we all love. But if we can fast forward a little bit into more clear love, where we have less baggage, that love is, just so much more gorgeous than we ever imagined, and that we've ever felt. So the new earth energy, the Christed energy love, the new earth energy, the Christed energy delight, is beyond what we've ever felt before. And that's what we're building. The new earth archetypes and paradigms, where the emperor cannot carry baggage of greed and tyranny or war with him into the new earth. The new archetype will be just better than ever. Our leaders will be equipped to make the best choices, the highest good choices for all. And those roles, those archetypes that are in each one of us, we all have a little emperor and we all have a little empress in us. That would be the divine masculine and feminine. They will be cleaned and cleared of the baggage that we've held in the past, the old wounds and the old distortions that we've held in the past. And so let's look at the Empress. So, and this is the traditional Rider-Waite cards that I'm using. Look at her. She's very graceful, and she's at ease and peace. she's got her harvest, her crop right in front of her. And this beautiful red, royal, beautiful things in the heart and the balance. She's in perfect order and divine order and balance in her divine feminine self, which we are balancing. And she has that yellow around her, and she's got a beautiful green forest behind her. She's glowing, almost like with a halo, and the stars in her crown. So some of the archetypes of old could be snarky, jealous, envious, vengeful, misusing the power, because in the all the movies, the queen or the empress or the ladies are sometimes the most psychic or magical beings, right? Not always. I mean, Merlin is Gandalf, they're magical. They're the magicians. But in this new earth energy, we're going to bring in true love, unconditional love. She holds the truth in her. It's not imbalanced. It's not greedy. It's not jealous. It's not vengeful. She holds a grace and a peace and a wisdom. It's almost like a mystical wisdom of knowing in her. And so we're going to bring those new archetypes in and rebuild and create with our third chakra, second chakra, and third chakra, create those. And we will recognize these new archetypes and architectures and systems being so much better than we ever could imagine. We knew the concept that we wanted inside. But as we hold the light and we keep walking home together, and each one of us clearing out all of our wounds and distortions and baggage and pain and suffering, as those become our past, more and more, we'll realize this is better than ever. Love is better than ever. It's just, indescribable. Respect is indescribable, honorable. Delight, indescribable. So we could use that with any belief system, any archetype, any systems on any level. And so the next card that I pulled for us, and they're helping me channel this information, is purity. So they're recommending that all of us continue each day to just kind of hold that light and hold that light of pure divine love, or pure divine light in ourselves that keeps clearing away the old misconceptions, the old mistakes, the old misunderstandings, the old distortion in us. And each day it will become more clear, and we become more pure. Purity. So it's almost like our homework a little bit, to hold things in purity and clarity. Let us read what it says. You are pure. Open your spiritual eyes. And I'm seeing that they keep saying that we're going to shift our perspectives and perceptions. And in that, those perspectives and perceptions will rise in frequency. And it's been brutal. It's been hard. It's been painful. But as we open our eyes and see through Christed eyes of purity, we'll realize that it's better than ever. And we are coming together in that unity consciousness and rebuilding, rewriting the script for the next generations and the next days to come. And we can expect to see some results that'll help us feel good and really expand each one of us in our consciousness. And they're saying, rewriting the script without all the darkness. The old matrix is falling. The new matrix is being put together. Much of it is unseen, but this is our awakening journey. And the last card that I pulled as I was grounding and saying a prayer, I didn't even read it. Ether and matter. Brilliant. I can't even understand how this works every time. Ether and matter. This is the twin flame card too. Ether and matter. So as we create the invisible changes, our consciousness rises. We come home and walk home together, and home being in that wholeness space, that heaven and earth space, home inside of each one of us. Clear our heart spaces, clear our systems out, and we become pure, Christed beings. That's an ether first. That's the unseen first. As we balance our divine masculine and divine feminine inside of ourselves and see it in each other, it starts becoming more apparent and physical. So it goes inside first, inside, and then we'll see it in the matter, which would be the physical realm. And those are the twin flame signals. So balancing divine masculine, divine feminine. So and I have been getting massive amounts of information about the twin flame journey, which is really kind of just a balancing of consciousness. But also some of us have divine counterparts, true divine counterparts in physical, that are working on themselves. We're working on ourselves, and we are coming together in the physical world. And we will come together with our soul families and these divine counterparts, which sometimes would be our romantic spouses, mates, sometimes not, and really have a dual, like if we put our energy together, because twin flames are the same soul, and we learn from each other how to balance our divine masculine and feminine from each other, sometimes in not so fun ways. But as we come into this new earth energy more, we'll see in the physical how it balances out, and we have purposes together. And the divine has really been reshuffling us and organizing us so that we can find, we can truly recognize this next level, this next time period of divine purpose and our missions here on earth, what our roles are, our archetypes are. And sometimes that brings us to our twin flames, or at least, the very least, for me at least, working on my divine masculine and feminine balancing within myself. Self-love. They're saying that many of us have always loved ourselves and known our worth. It's just we've been so distorted, we couldn't, and then the mirroring each other, and we couldn't see it in each other. And so expect those results upcoming where we will see it in each other. More and more, and it'll be just better than we can ever imagine. So in these next months and days and years, just know that there's that coming into play where we'll start going, oh, some of this is worth it. Where, if you're me, at least, there's some days that I go, I don't even know why we're doing this. One more card. New beginnings, Ace of Wands, action. And so they're just saying expect results and to keep walking forward on your journey home together. Thank you. They're saying that they send great love and celebration and